Hey, my name is Paul Maxwell. I'm the CEO of RevOps HQ. We're a certified HubSpot solutions partner. And today we're going to talk about how to get set up on HubSpot if you are a CPA or an accounting firm. Now, I want to just be very clear. What we're not going to do today is hop into all of the marketing features of HubSpot and do a demo of those. There's lots of videos out there that do that, where you can set up your marketing campaigns, your lead funnel, your emails, connect and schedule all your social accounts, replace platforms like Buffer, schedule all your ads for LinkedIn, Meta, Google Ads, TikTok. All of those ads can be managed through HubSpot. We're not going to get into all these features today and do a tour of all of that. Core to understanding how to set up your accounting firm on HubSpot is understanding what a CRM is, how it works with your data, and the role of the CRM inside of your business tech platform infrastructure. Okay. So what we're going to do today is accomplish three things. Number one, try to understand how the CRM fits into an accounting business. Number two, understand the data model of an accounting firm inside of a CRM. And number three, how you can leverage that data model to do the three things with data that you're able to do, which are to interact with data, to automate data, and to visualize data. Okay. So again, we're going to understand CRMs. We're going to understand the accounting data model of a CRM, and then we're going to understand how to leverage that to actually do your work. Okay. So very first thing we need to understand is what HubSpot is. So HubSpot is one database of everything in your business, that everything your business touches, every client, every person, every job, every request, with the work that happens to them attached to those records. Okay. So inside of HubSpot, for example, we're looking at a bunch of sample contacts, right? These aren't real people. These are sample records. Okay. So in HubSpot, the language we use for this table is an object. Now, you might be used to thinking of this as a spreadsheet, right? I have a spreadsheet of people where each record is an individual and each row is an attribute of that individual. From a CRM perspective, you need to understand that we use a little bit of a different language, but it's the same concept. This table is called an object. Each row is a record, and each column is called a property of that record. So the property of this record of first name is Priya. The property of last name for this record is Ellery. That's the value that it holds. So in HubSpot, it's important to understand there are four core objects in HubSpot that we call the core four. Okay. The four core objects in HubSpot are contacts, which the contact object, which is a record of individual people, the company's object, which is a record of organizations, right? So if I click into this, I see all the companies, right? These are organizations rather than individuals. So I've got the contacts object, the company's object, the deals object, which represents transaction opportunities that I have with these organizations or people, and tickets, which are customer service or customer delivery opportunities that arise from these transactions when they are closed won. Okay. So like a customer service ticket, think about it that way. Okay. So those are the core four objects. So if I look at these, I can see here is my contact database. I can have filters here, right? I can say, okay, I want to know who the contact owner is. I want to know who the buying role is. I can filter on what industry that they're in, their net worth, anything like that. I could filter all of that inside of here. Same thing for companies. If I want to click on these companies and these accounting firms, I can understand what the entity type is. Is it an S Corp? Is it an individual? Is it a C Corp, a partnership, etc.? I can understand what their annual fee is. I can understand what their client risk rating is. Is it low, moderate, elevated, or high? And then I can understand, is this on extension? And then I can have a domain here where I click and it's automatically there. Again, these are fake companies. And then finally, we have this accounting firm deal record pipeline. Let me just switch to the table so that we can see what these deals are. Great. Okay. So this is deal new client. And this is our deal pipeline, where we can see here is the proposed service line that we're selling them. Remember, deals are transaction opportunities. So here's a bookkeeping deal, here's a payroll deal, and all of these are associated to those specific individuals or companies. I can also view this as a board view, so I can see the life cycle progress of these deals. What stage is this deal in, and how long has it been in that stage? So with this client, okay, they've submitted an inquiry. Now we're moving them into the conflict check. Now we're moving them into scoping. Now we're moving them into proposal. And then did we win that business or did we lose that business? And once it's there, we can have an automation that kicks off and has us create an onboarding ticket for them, something like that, right? But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So contacts, companies, and deals inside HubSpot. Now let's get to the accounting specific stuff, because you might be thinking right now, great, so I can do all this in a spreadsheet. Like, why would I use HubSpot for any of this? Okay, we're getting to that. Again, we're understanding three things: what a CRM is, how an accountant, what the data model is inside of a CRM, specifically for an accounting firm or a CPA, and then how to leverage that data in terms of how you interact with it, how you automate based on it, and how you visualize it. So let's move on to the actual data model of a CRM for an accounting or a CPA firm. We've got our contacts, companies, deals, and tickets. Your specific firm is going to use each of these objects more or less depending on the exact business function of your firm. But we also have these additional records, which are client engagements, returns, client entities, and deadlines. So if we look at our client engagements, we can see what this client engagement is. Okay, this is an active client engagement, and we can understand the life cycle of this client engagement. So it's not started yet, it's awaiting on docs, it's in preparation, and it's in review. And ideally, you don't want to be manually shuffling these cards around all over the place. What you do is you leverage HubSpot's workflows tool to create, let's say, automation logic to say if-then logic that automatically manages the status of all of these client engagements. So this is data that we know is up to date. For example, when a document is signed, then it moves into a specific stage, right? So, or once a document is created and sent, then there's a workflow that automatically moves it to a waiting signature. And then once that signature is signed by the client, let's say in your document signing software like DocuSign or PandaDoc, it automatically moves that engagement into the file phase. Okay. And then you can keep track of all of your options there. We're going to see how to actually view this information more in a minute. Again, we're still in the data model stage. So you're still understanding the data model of HubSpot, again, which is for a CPA firm. You got your contacts, your individuals, your companies, your organizations, your deals where you're actually closing people. Tickets are customer service opportunities. Then you've got your client engagement. Then you've got your returns. Okay. Your returns, these are the actual returns you're filing that you're being tracked, okay? Which are 1040, 1120s, 1041s, that kind of stuff. Then you've got your client entities and your deadlines. So your client entities, these are the actual client entities that you have that you're tracking inside of HubSpot. And then finally, you have your deadlines. And these are the deadlines that are associated to any project that you're doing. So what kind of deadline is it? Is it an estimated payment? Is it a client report, right? That's what we're trying to understand. Now, let's click into one of these contacts, because the real power of leveraging this data model is understanding not just that these things exist, but the relationship that exists. So for example, in a spreadsheet, here's where HubSpot starts to shine from a data management perspective for your company. How in a spreadsheet are you going to manage one-to-many and many-to-many relationships? So how do you manage and how do you visualize and how do you implement a data model that can facilitate a relationship of this record, Priya Ellery, to many potential companies, many potential deals, many potential client engagements, many potential returns, many potential client entities, and many potential deadlines? All in a spreadsheet. It's very hard. Now HubSpot makes all of that very, very easy. So if I click into this contact here, first of all, I can see the location. I can also do this with a business. I can also see all the client engagements they have. And if you see here, I can see the kind of relationship that they have to that client engagement, right? So that they, for example, on this engagement, they provide records. I can click into this engagement. I can see the number of preparer hours, the realization, the service line, the accounting, all of this I can see, okay? I can also see the filing deadline, right? I can see the relationship they have to this engagement. I can see that they provided records to this engagement. I can also see all the returns associated to them, right? All of the forms. I can see all of the dates. I can see the tax year itself. Okay. Then I can see all the client entities that they're related to, that they're an officer of this group, that they own this group, they're an officer of this group, they own this group, and that they're employed at this group, right? Then I can see all of the deadlines that they're associated with, all the active deadlines we're working on with them. So if I'm doing a client review with them, I can look at all of that right here. And then I can also see all the deals. So we've done 2 review deals with them and an audit deal with them. And I can also see the company that they're associated to. Okay. So this is initially how we surface all of this relational database. So this is where a relational database becomes superior to a mere spreadsheet, because you can actually facilitate all of this. And I can click into this. If I wanted to, I could click into this client engagement and I could see all the emails, all the calls associated to this client engagement. I could see all the contacts associated to this client engagement, right? Here, it's a web of relationships, and every record view allows us to investigate that relationship. I can also see all of the historic activities associated to this specific contact, right? So that is the power of this. And then additionally, I can create any kind of automation logic that says, if a deadline is approaching, send them an email. If they have a specific status or document review, it needs to be escalated to the owner, or it needs to automatically send them the link to that document review. That's something that we can automatically do. So remember, you can do three things with data. You can interact with it manually like we've just been doing. You can automate based on it, or you can visualize it. Now we can build this business intelligence interface inside HubSpot based on all of those things. So for this accounting firm, for example, that's what this data model enables. It enables reporting on this level. So you have, for example, household premium total by account type, right? Where we have personal lines, commercial lines, mixed, and benefits. So this is a proportion of the household premium total by account type. You can also have docs outstanding count by portal access. So you have docs outstanding for some that are locked out, 97 that are locked out, 98 that are not invited, 122 that have been invited, and 35 that are active that have docs outstanding, right? That allows us to see why docs may be outstanding. Then we have portal access broken down by preferred contact reason, right? So anytime outside busy season, email only or phone only, right? And are they not invited, active, or locked out? Then you have proposed service line broken down by conflict check cleared. So you've got tax prep, audit, review, bookkeeping, advisory, payroll, valuation, right? So you could say, is the conflict check cleared for all of our audit prospects? If not, I want to click on these and I want to see all of these conflict checks that need to be done, and I want to assign them to our conflict check person. Done easily, right? See how easy this workflow is being made by this data model? Then we have entity type broken down by EIN on file. So now we've got individual, S Corp, C Corp, right? Okay. For our individuals, or for our S Corps, we've got 15 on file that we don't have the EIN for. So we need to, again, assign this to somebody and go gather the EIN for all of these. And we need to send them an automatic email for an EIN request. Boom, done. And we need to have that automatically follow up with them until they submit the form to give us that information. Next, we have form type broken down by extended or not. So for example, how many 1040s do we have extended? That's 15 true. Next, we have deadline type broken down by at risk. So filing, estimated payment, extension deadline, information return deadline, client report deadline, right? If these are 20 at risk client report deadlines. So these need to be assigned to somebody that can resolve that. Then preparer hours by service line. So we can say, okay, we've got 745 hours, and you can have this be on a rolling 30-day basis, an all time, rolling 90, this month, last month, fiscal year, all that kind of stuff. You can generate this financial report. You could say 618 preparer hours on tax prep, 765 preparer hours on audit, etc. Then you have service line broken down by engagement status. So you've got tax prep, audit, review, bookkeeping, advisory, payroll, and valuation. And those are all broken down by, are they not started? Are they awaiting client docs? Are they in preparation? Are they in review? Are they awaiting signature, or are they filed? So if I've got, for example, in my service line of bookkeeping, I've got 8 bookkeeping engagements that are awaiting signature, I'm going to assign these to a rep to go chase down these signatures, because that's revenue that's literally just rotting in the pipeline, right? And I'm going to take all of these awaiting signatures. And I want to say, if there's any awaiting signatures that have been in this stage for over 3 days, I want to chase them down, and I want all of them to receive phone calls today. Then we've got annual fee proposed by service line. Okay, so these are the annual fee proposed by service line. So valuation, tax prep, audit, review, bookkeeping, and advisory. Then finally, you've got annual fee by entity type. So individual, S Corp, C Corp, partnership. For example, our partnership is moderate, let's say, at 4,086 per year, right? Our elevated is this amount and our high is this amount. So again, this is our total annual fee by entity type, right? And then we've got our total annual fee at 4.5. million. Okay. So this is just an example. This is one dashboard in HubSpot. A dashboard is this page that we're viewing, and a report is a panel. So a dashboard is a collection of reports, and each report is a panel. Typically in a business, we would have, for a mid-size accounting firm, between 8 and 12 dashboards, all with their own reports, usually broken down by team, and then having administrative and executive dashboards as well. Now, what's important is not only being able to interact with data and automate data and visualize data, but also documenting and understanding the process that it facilitates. So in each business, the way that we understand it here at RevOps HQ is that your business operations come down to understanding and optimizing and designing 3 core business processes that hand off to one another: marketing, which generates leads; sales, which converts those leads to customers; and customer service or delivery that increases the total lifetime value of those customers and their engagement with you. So in marketing, there's specific processes that need to be automated by HubSpot. Number 1, you have partner referrals, banker introductions, inbound, and RFPs all landed here, right? So all your lead sources are all landing inside HubSpot. Then the entity is recorded, not just the person. So what is the referral source? What is the company they're associated to? What company did they come from? Then they have fiscal year, which that fiscal year end sets the entire calendar. Then May is the only month that you can actually kind of sell anything typically. But in this case, HubSpot enables you to sell all year, right? Because now you can actually begin those introductions and begin those relationships and extend your selling cycle and your marketing cycle across the whole year. Then in sales, you have a conflict check, which is a gate before proposal. Then the fee is proposed per service line. Then engagement is created before the work is actually begun. And then finally, you have the sign, increase engagement, and every return under it, which again, we've seen over inside of HubSpot when we click onto a contact record, right? And we see all of the engagements in the client, all of these things being automatically created by the process that we prescribe for it. And then with service and delivery, we have the compliance calendar, which is a board. And then chasing documents is systematic and it's logged. It's not something that you have to manually do. You just set up the automatic processes again inside HubSpot, inside HubSpot's automation builder here, which is enabled by the data model. The data model being, of course, contacts, companies, deals, and then client engagements, returns, client entities, and deadlines, which are all relationally associated to each other, right? And then you have 30 days out and untouched gets escalated. So you never have any stale clients or stale engagements. And then next year is created before this one is filed. And so automatically you have a prospective way of automating those engagements and having all of your planning and project management for each client done inside HubSpot as well. So typically, if you're a CPA, and you're an accounting firm and you're looking at HubSpot, first of all, you're probably looking at it because of the powerful marketing capabilities that HubSpot has in order to generate leads for you and to track those leads and to gain business intelligence inside of HubSpot. But if you don't have the right data model, it's going to be very difficult for you to do this in the long term. And the more complex your data model, once you start talking about custom objects, once you start talking to a company like mine, a HubSpot solutions partner agency, we're going to see dollar signs and we're going to start charging you $30,000 to $50,000, right? Thing is, we've worked with a bunch of CPAs before, and we've found that this object model, this custom object model, is the object model that actually works. Okay. And so we've built 90% of this. We've built the workflows, we've built the automations, we've built the processes, we've built the dashboards. We've built this object model out with all the custom properties and custom objects that you need so that we can train you on how to implement your CPA firm inside of HubSpot so that you can use and leverage all of HubSpot's tools. For example, if you want to remarket a partnership campaign to start getting more referrals from a company that you get the most referrals from, you can actually start assigning revenue to referral companies so that you say, oh, company A gave us $2 million in referral revenue this year. We want to do an ad campaign that targets a lookalike audience to executives at companies like Company A. That way you can build more referral partnerships and basically say you reverse engineer your lead process and say, what's our highest converting, highest value, lowest effort lead channel? And we want to run an ad campaign or some other marketing campaign, some other high converting marketing campaign to get more prospects like that. What HubSpot enables you to do, in short, is it enables you to identify what the highest ROI channels are for revenue for you and to double down on those channels of revenue. So it allows you insight into knowing what works, and it allows you the tools to execute on to continue doing that in a way that is reportable. Okay. So a typical solutions partner is going to charge you a lot of money. We've done that work to the point where we've actually patternized that, we've abstracted it, and we've created a skeleton of what we think gets you 90% of the way there as a CPA firm inside of HubSpot. Now, every single firm requires customization, okay? So in our engagement, what we do is we start here. We start with this data model, and we start with the custom objects, the custom properties, the workflows, and the reports that we've seen work for other CPA firms inside HubSpot. And then we do discovery with you. We understand how your firm is different from or similar to the firms we've worked with in the past, and we make tweaks and recommendations for how to implement your system inside HubSpot. We set that up, and then we teach you how to dovetail your specific operational system inside HubSpot in a way that's custom to your business and much lower price than you're typically going to get from another HubSpot solutions partner, because again, we've done this before and we've already built it out, and we can just install this in your HubSpot base rather than charging you to reinvent the wheel. So we're RevOps HQ. We have our calendar scheduling link. Schedule a meeting with me if you're a CPA or if you're an accounting firm and you are looking at HubSpot or you're on HubSpot and you want to optimize that for your business. Meet with us, and I'd love to talk to you and discuss how to increase your use of HubSpot or how HubSpot may or may not be a good fit for your business. So thanks so much for watching, and best of luck with your CPA business. And I hope to talk to you soon. Thanks.